to our podcast, Grim Reading Kings, where we talk about anything spooky and strange. My name is Tamsin, and I'm here with my co-hosts, Sammy and Tom.
Hi.
Hi.
We upload our podcast every Monday, and if you want to watch us, we upload every episode to our YouTube channel every Friday. We also have a Patreon where we upload a full, uncut, unedited episode every Monday, and a Facebook page where you can join in on our conversations.
Please.
Tell us your stories and share your thoughts on each week's episode.
Yeah.
All of these are linked in our description, so please do check them out and subscribe. And if you enjoyed these stories, please give us a big thumbs up.
A big one.
I got my big toe out so bad.
Massive one. A massive toe.
Massive toe J. Simpson.
In this series, we are discussing the dark side of Hollywood, and for my tale, I have chosen to tell you all about celebrity prison sentences.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Some are long, and some are incredibly short. Or non-existent. The prison sentences, not the celebrities. But the crimes all involve the death or torture of innocent people due to some dark... Oh, sorry, I needed to pause. Due to some dark details, personal discretion is advised. That brings us to the tale of shocking celebrity prison sentences.
So my name is Tom.
My name is Sammy.
And Tamsin.
Where we talk about anything and everything spooky and strange.
In this series we discuss film curses,
Dark history.
Murder mystery.
local stories,
Chappaquiddick.
Out right now.
That's how you kill someone.
I'm going to do a warning.
actual human skeletons.
Psychopathic tendencies.
The last thing to know is the actual injuries.
Right, let's go again.
I'm going to start with a story that is overlooked a lot, but is truly horrific. This one contains some upsetting details, so be sure you want to listen to this particular one. So, Rick James. He's a soul singer who sang Super Freak.
Super
I'm a Super Freak.
Super freaky.
He sprang to fame with his incredible voice and style, and his song Super Freak and Give It To Me Baby brought him huge success. But something that seems to be forgotten to time is the prison sentence James was given 10 years after Super Freak came out. If I told you he was imprisoned for 2 years, you may think he was caught with drugs or dangerous driving. But what if I told you he was arrested for the kidnap and torture of 2 women?
What?
Yeah. In 1991, Rick James, who was 43, and his 21-year-old girlfriend, Tanya Hijazi, had invited an unemployed Frances Alley to come and stay with them when they met her at a party. And she agreed. But on July 16th, things took a dark turn when James pulled out a gun and accused Alley of taking all of his drugs. He told her if she tried to escape, he would kill her. James and his girlfriend tied Alley naked to a chair and burnt her over 20 times with a crack pipe. They forced her to smoke drugs, and Hijazi sexually assaulted her while James watched. They untied her the next day, and she ran to a treatment centre and reported the crime.
Good.
Well,
I was going to say, report it. Fucking...
yeah.
like, some people are too ashamed. They're too
I
scared.
know, it's really sad. They think that it's their fault or they did something wrong, but no, you have to report it.
No, straight
As
away.
soon as it happens.
Good on her. Go in there and report it straight away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And although warrants were put out for James and Hijazi, when they were taken in, they were quickly released on bail. And while on said bail, they attacked another woman. Mary Sager, I'm going to go with Sager, but it might be something else, met with James and Hijazi for a job as a music executive, although some reports say that she was a prostitute and that they hired her. But that wasn't as many as the music exec, so I don't want to say that without, backup.
Those are 2 very different jobs.
They're very different jobs, yeah. So I'm not 100% sure.
Whether a shoemaker or a fucking mafia boss.
Yeah. The 2 were high on cocaine and turned on Sager, repeatedly hitting her. They held her against her will for 20 long hours, all in a West Hollywood hotel room. She was beat unconscious and then awoken with water. After the 2 were arrested and Sager retold her horror story to the court, This would be the part where a loud snore was heard throughout the room. That of Rick James, who had fallen asleep while the emotional woman told of how he tortured her.
What?
Oh.
So it wasn't even like cartoonish. It was legit. He was asleep.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
He didn't care. Sega had pictures of her face and body after the attack. Her whole face was bruised and swollen. She looked like she was in a huge amount of pain. And the great Rick James responded by falling asleep at the court case. James and Hijazi only spent 2 years in prison for the crimes, mostly for Mary Sega, as Francis Ali's case was mostly thrown out. In the end, Rick James paid Sega $1 million and went on to have great success until his death.
I hope he's suffering.
Jesus Christ.
He did. He had a lot of health problems,
Shame.
mostly because of his shitty lifestyle. But that, and then once he died, a load of girls and women came forward to say that he'd raped them, tortured them, done all these awful things. So there was more to this than just those 2 women. But that's a story that isn't really told.
No.
It's so, like, I'm just going on, like, Spotify, and it's like...
All of his songs are still there.
Still there.
Yeah.
It's so sad because you think of like Rebel Meets Rebel, a really good band.
Great.
All their songs aren't on Spotify because of the Confederate flag that they used once in it or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, R. Kelly's songs are all on there.
And this guy.
And yet we can watch all of Harvey Weinstein's films. Not that we shouldn't be able to, because talent is far from the person giving it to us.
Yeah.
I don't agree with not watching a film because you don't like someone in it or someone's done a crime in it, but...
If you're going to do it for one person, then you should do it for all.
You need to do it for all of them. Yeah.
Definitely.
You can't pick and choose crimes.
This is, like, like, how podcasts ruin, like, your people. I remember watching so many videos of this man, like, playing bass, because he's an amazing bass player. I didn't realise it was the same guy. I was like, fuck. He's like the dun 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 dun. That's his song.
Yeah, they use that beginning from Super Freak in Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
And he fucking kicked off and went after Hammer.
MC Hammer.
Yeah, MC Hammer.
Yeah.
Went after him when it came out because he was so like, you stole my song. Kind of fair, actually.
Fair, but...
Yeah.
But...
He's a shit person, so fucking...
I can't believe that. I hate finding out people that you think are like these slick, like groovy musicians are pricks.
You win.
Yeah.
Oh.
The story's getting so much
That's
worse,
just the first
guys.
one. Jesus.
To be fair, I will say that one I believe was the worst. Maybe the worst.
But like,
really bad.
Like, he got away with it the best. But like,
2 years.
the best isn't the right thing. But like, yeah.
There are others that got away with it.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Anyway.
Can I tap out?
Yeah, no, you can't. Number 2, Michael Jace. He starred in some bangers, Boogie Nights, Planet of the Apes, and he played the leader of the Black Panthers in Forrest Gump. So Michael Jace was like CSI. He even did Murder, She Wrote. He did loads of stuff when he was younger.
Shit.
Yeah, not when he was younger, but just before he went into the movies. He did a lot of series. His career would end in 2013, and a year later he was in prison for murder. On May 19th, that's my cousin's birthday, 2014, Jace called 911 to report that he had shot his wife. When the police arrived, they found his wife April dead by gunshot, and Jace was arrested, and in court he stated that his wife had wanted a divorce, and also he suspected that she had been cheating, and he had gotten angry. He had intended to shoot himself, but didn't have the courage. So he took his wife's father's gun, and instead of shooting himself, he decided to hurt his wife.
Can I just quickly say?
Yeah.
Sorry. So he didn't have the courage to kill himself, so he killed someone else. That's a cowardly fucking move.
What he did was, she had hurt him so much that he was like, do you know what? I can't live like this. I'm going to kill myself. And then he decided, I cannot kill myself. I have to hurt my wife to get back at this situation.
That's so stupid.
I know. That's not how you think.
No.
You get angry, but you don't think, I'm going to kill someone.
No, you don't. Definitely not.
No. Right. So he took his wife's father's gun and decided to hurt his wife. He claimed he only intended to wound her by shooting her in the leg. He said in court, I know. Can you imagine getting annoyed at Tom and being like, right, I'm going to shoot him in the leg because fuck him. And then just going, I just shot him in the leg.
Oh, whoops.
So innocent. Such a nice innocent gunshot to the leg.
Literally.
That's just a bit
There's so many arteries in your legs as well. Like,
yeah, your legs are pretty deadly part of the hip.
Did it say where he shot her?
no, it literally just said legs, unfortunately.
Okay, because there's a thing in your leg.
That's
there's a
what I was
vein.
thinking, but that's kind of up here. So I'm assuming leg, like, I assumed, like, underneath the knee.
So shin.
That's what I'm assuming. Because otherwise they would have said thigh.
That's true, but it's still your leg, and maybe
I guess it is.
because she died, maybe she bled out, which is why they
There's
maybe.
more to it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
There's more to it. That is not how she died. Right. In court, Michael Jace said, I shot her in the leg and that was it. But that wasn't it. Since his wife April had 3 bullet wounds, 2 to her legs and 1 in her back. James had 2 sons at the time, 8 and 5 years old. They had both witnessed the attack, and when the older one was 10 years old, he made a statement in court that said his mum had been an avid runner, and when his father had shot her, he said, if you like running, then run to heaven, and shot her in the leg. Absolutely horrendous.
What the fuck? Okay.
2 years after the murder, Jace was charged with second-degree murder and sentenced to 40 years in prison, where he remains now.
Good.
But who knows if he will stay there for the entire term.
Yeah, because they always get
He's a
let.
Celebrity, probably not.
They always get let out early, at least
If I
half
was
their
going to
time.
put money on it,
Yeah.
I'd say he's going to do less than 10 years.
Also, thinking about the gunshot, so shot twice in the leg
Mm-hmm.
and then 1 in the back.
Mhm.
So, and then the son said a runner. So maybe bang bang, and then she went to run away and
That's
shot
what I
in the
think.
back.
That's what I exactly
Yeah.
think. Because the son said that half of it happened in the hall.
Yeah.
So I think she was trying to run away in the hall and he shot her again and again, and that's what the boys saw. Because I think they saw 2 shots, not 3.
Yeah.
So it started in the living room and then,
Yeah, like she ran in and saw the other 2 shots.
yeah.
Well, that reminds me of, it's like that could be a scene in a film. I think it's Magnum P.I. when he's like walks past and he like sees a nun and she's like, hi, and he's like, wait, nuns don't work on Sundays. And goes on and shoots her. Like, you want to run so much? Run to fucking heaven! Like, that's such a sick scene. I'd love to see it in the film.
It's like someone wrote that for him, isn't it? It is literally like it would be on CSI, that line.
You had
It's
to
so
run.
cheesy. I know it happened in real life, but it's cheesy.
That is so fucking cheesy.
It's like you can tell that he was an actor and wanted to be famous from that.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I fucking
Which is
love
I
fucking
it.
wouldn't say
sick.
shit like that. I would just be like, oh, no!
Hasta la vista, baby.
Ah, okay.
Smart motherfucker.
Some fries, motherfucker.
Say that again!
All right, motherfucker.
Some plies, motherfucker.
So yeah, that's Michael Jace.
Sick. I rate him 10 out of 10.
It's so sad because he's got such a nice face.
You want to run so much?
I hate it when someone looks really sweet and they're not.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really deceiving. Like if you're ugly and you do a crime, I don't care.
That's it. But if I found out like the professor from Back to the Future was like a criminal, I'd be so distraught because he's such a nice, like, legendary character.
Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what? He was in Mandalorian, Star Wars, like a Star Wars thing. He looked really odd. He was really different. I suppose he's really old now, isn't he?
But the thing
But
is,
I want to see him in more things. Like,
He looked old in Back to the Future, though, and he looked old in freaking
He's-
Addams
he's-
Family.
been someone who's always been old.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what-
since I can remember.
Yeah.
Kind of like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, true.
Always been old.
he always looks old because in the first Back to the Future films, they made him look old.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so into the future, there was an interview and he's looking back and he's like, it's so weird because he got it so precise because he's watching how he looks now, but in the 80s.
Oh.
So, yeah,
God,
yeah, I didn't think of that. That he was a lot younger than he looked.
Yeah, he's way
Yeah.
younger. So like when you see, he has like a little cameo in A Million Ways to Die in the West,
yeah.
Do you remember that? When
Yeah, and he looks spot on, doesn't
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember this.
Have you watched that film?
Yeah, we watched it all together.
Twice.
I remember we
Yeah.
watched it at Sammy's house
I
once.
cannot think of that bit at all.
You literally
At Sammy's house.
It's Sammy's house.
Sharon's house.
Sammy's Mars. Right, he's in the middle of the street. I can't remember what the reason is now, but it was like towards the end.
It was in a barn, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then he like sees lights coming from a barn. He's like, "What the hell's that?" And he gets in. He's like, "What do you got there?" He's like, "Nothing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like when he leaves, he's
Okay.
like, "Great
It's coming
Scott!"
back to me.
Yeah.
Number 3. Ted Kennedy.
Kennedy?
Yeah.
Who's Ted?
Ted, their brother.
How many were
The
there?
third brother.
Yeah.
How many
wow.
were there in total? Because we had the sister who went.
So I think Robert was the oldest, then Rosemary, John, Ted. Was it another one?
Okay,
Oh, that's
Lower?
like 5.
this is news to me.
I'm not sure. Anyway, Ted. Well, the reason you might not know Ted is because he never ran for president. But the reason that he didn't run for president is an incident that happened in 1969.
Of course.
If I could pronounce the place where it happened, I would say it.
Can you describe it?
Everyone else has managed to say this name.
Okay, Tom will be able to say it. Say it.
Oh no, that was my throat. Did you? I don't know if that got.
I heard it from here.
It
so.
was like a toad. It was a toad coming out of my throat.
Oh,
Which?
God.
Which?
Literally.
Chappaquiddick?
Let's see.
It's a really famous incident. Everyone knows the name in America. They're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's a Chappaquiddick.
Chappaquiddick.
Okay.
I'm English. I can't say it.
No, I wouldn't know tell you.
Anyway, this is the incident that happened. Around midnight, July 18th, 1969, Ted drove his car off Dyke Bridge, which overturned and landed in Poucha Pond or Poucha Pond? I'm not 100% sure. That one? Poucha? Poucha?
Puka? I don't know.
Something like that.
Couldn't tell you.
Pond. In a pond. However, Ted wasn't alone. He had a 28-year-old passenger, Mary Jo Copacci, Copacci, who didn't get out of the car like Ted did. And although Ted reportedly tried to save Mary Jo, her body wouldn't leave the car until 9 a.m. the next day. This is because Ted Kennedy did not report the accident until 10 hours after it happened.
So, hang on. There was somebody else in the car.
So
He was driven to a river and then he was like, I'm going to get myself out. I'm going to go to bed.
Well,
wake
he
up.
got out and he was like, shit, I should go back and save her. Reportedly, he spent hours trying to save her and then passed out from exhaustion.
Do you know what I can imagine? My like 21st century head. I can imagine being in bed like with his slippers on, like, oh shit. I crashed my car a few hours late. Could you go and check on that, please, policeman? Bye.
Yeah, actually,
Fuck you.
I really liked
Or
that
like-
car.
or like,
Can you go
don't.
get it back?
If you don't want to, that's fine. Also,
I did check. She's dead. Is she? Or is
also, I
fine?
never talked to the police. This is actually my bodyguard.
Hey, John. Could you come in here, a second?
Dad?
I
Brothers?
crashed. You know your car? I crashed that last night off Dyke Bridge, giggly, and I don't know if it's okay or not. I've just come back to bed. I was kind of tired last night, so
Oh, is it exhausted from crashing that car?
could you check? Go be a nice man. Go check.
Do you know, were you with anyone? Doesn't ring any bells.
I may have been.
No, I mean-
to check the car.
I mean, if you're going to go and report it, maybe you should just flag that I might have been with someone, but I can't really
it was
remember.
10 hours ago. I have no idea what I was doing 10 hours ago.
I may have seen someone crawl into the car after I left, but
I mean-
that's none of my business.
I mean, there was a scream and there was a splash, but no, I don't know.
One day later, there's someone in there.
No way!
I could have sworn there was no one in there when I crashed that car.
Ted claimed he was driving Mary Jo to a ferry from a party they had just been to, when he took a wrong turn down a dirt road and ended up skidding off the bridge. He also made a televised response, which you can still see on YouTube. It's really easy to find. You just put Chappaquiddick.
It's really easy to find. Yeah.
Chappaquiddick. Something like that. Incident, and then Ted Kennedy, and he'll tell you what happened, apparently. So he said in his response to the incident that it made no sense that he didn't report the crime and that not reporting the crime was indefensible. That being said...
Indefensible?
Yeah, so he was saying, like, he doesn't understand why he just left, and he has no excuse for why he waited 10 hours to tell anyone that this has happened. But he said that when the accident happened, he tried to save her, couldn't, so he went back to the party where they were and took a group of friends to try and save her, who couldn't save her, and then he reported it. 10 hours? I don't know.
Again, it's just a scenario, you know, like dancing, like, oh, by the way, can someone come with me? It's been 10 hours, but
Ted, did you leave?
It's been a while, but when I drove my car earlier...
Hey, do you like
something
saving dead people?
No, Dyke Bridge. Dyke Bridge?
Oh, you crashed your car up there too, dude, you motherfucker?
I'll tell you later.
Give me 10 hours. This is a good beat.
CC me, please.
Damn.
Yeah, she
Oh,
went.
Robin!
She
Get
ain't
Marilyn down here.
She's dead now, she'll be dead later, it don't matter.
Well, I couldn't save her, so fuck it.
R.I.P. you of Dagbridge.
Fucking hell. However.
So he said so himself, that it was indefensible and made no sense what he did. Why he said that on telly, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing.
I was drinking.
Super freak. Super freak.
Super freaky.
Rick James is my best friend.
Honestly.
10 hours is such a long time. Jesus
Not when you're
Christ.
partying.
It's true. It's true. A party's a party.
Most workers have done like a full shift, me and him 2 hours, and he's like, yeah, now I should probably race.
Oh, I just killed someone, so I've come back to get another drink. And
It's a long ass drink.
I'm just really stressed right now, guys.
Oh my god, this is so frustrating though.
Why?
No, it's not, but like...
Too soon.
It's so stupid.
It's
so stupid. 10 hours for fuck's sake. Oh, I tried to save her by myself, but I couldn't get myself out.
I got exhausted, so I had to go back and party before the camera runs out of fucking battery.
That being said, the inquest disagreed with many things he said. They reported Ted and Mary Jo were not heading for a ferry, and that he turned onto the bridge too fast and was dangerously driving.
Ooh.
And so, for the death of Mary Jo, who could have been saved if the accident had been reported sooner, Ted had his license suspended for 1 year.
Wow.
Although some say he had 2 months in prison, that isn't true. He had a 2-month suspended prison sentence, which means that you are not to do any crime for 2 months after what you've just done.
So a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. So he killed someone. Whether it was accidentally or whatever, doesn't matter for normal people.
No.
But for celebrities, also doesn't matter. So
For the Kennedys.
Yeah. He got 2 months sentence at home where he was told to stay put and don't kill any other women.
Yeah, basically, behave yourself.
Yeah.
And then this is all blow over.
Yeah. But many people have said he had a 2-month prison sentence. He didn't spend any time in prison after this. But he wasn't allowed to drive for a year.
Technically, you caused death by dangerous driving, so...
Reportedly, because the inquest did say there just wasn't any chance that he did this accidentally, or, like, he obviously didn't do it on purpose.
No.
Or there's some people that say he did it on purpose, but it was his negligence that led to it.
Yeah.
And obviously it was like, why was he in the car with a 28-year-old woman? In his statement that he televised, he said there was absolutely nothing going on with us or any other... I wasn't involved with any other woman at the party, and that he didn't want to drag her name through the mud since she had died, which is fair enough, but...
No, I think that's a bullshit. I think that's...
Yeah.
I'm trying not to put myself bad. Yeah. I'm trying to put myself in the
Yeah.
good side.
Right, look what I did
What?
accidentally. Oh, poor me. And I think when you
oh,
watch
I'm
that
trying to
televised
protect her.
yeah, and I think once you watch it, you kind of see him like lying. I just feel like he's lying in this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he never ran for president. He was going to. I think it was against Reagan. Or. Oh.
Ronald
I
Reagan or Dixon, was it?
It may have been, yeah. But he pulled out because it was just too much. And I think it was because of this incident, and most people do. Which makes sense, because why would you want a president that's done this?
Just what I find weird. Why was every Kennedy brother going to be president?
So
I keep thinking of this, and I need to speak to an American to understand it. So the rest of these are celebrities who have killed people while driving. Because there were so many. So it was either...
Caitlyn Jenner.
Yep, she's on there. There's so many. And it was like... So what I've left out of here is anything to do with children. Basically.
Good.
Because I would be here all night. Because
Fucking
celebrities
hell.
are gross. So I'm going to do driving instead.
Fair.
Matthew Broderick, who is Simba and
in Cable Guy.
Cable Guy.
Who was he in Cable Guy?
He's the main guy.
He's the main, you know, the guy that Jim Carrey's harassing like forever.
Yeah. And Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller's
First
Day Out.
day off.
Yeah.
Day off?
Day off.
Yeah, you recognise him.
Yeah, because he's married to Sarah Jessica Parker.
He was. I don't know if they're married anymore. Oh, they are still married.
Since 1997.
Okay, my bad. He is married to Sarah Jessica Parker. But at this time, he was dating Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dancing. So they met on set. They were brother and sister on set. And then they fell for each other.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they were very, very secretive. Very secretive. And it was just before Dirty Dancing had come out. So she wasn't particularly famous yet, but he was. They went on holiday together. And when they were on holiday, he was driving on the wrong side of the road. And he crashed into a car that killed two people, I believe. I don't have that written down. He killed someone.
Was he drunk or was he...
No, he wasn't drunk. He was just driving on the wrong side of the road. Which I will stand up for, right? Because my sister drives everywhere, right? And she did drive down a dual carriageway on the wrong side of the road because it was in France and it got confusing, and they do drive on the other side of the road, even though it's so close to home. It can be confusing. It can be crazy. I'm not a driver, so I don't really want to stand up for it. Is it
like
that easy?
No.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
But-
it's not that easy.
We'll just leave it there. Carry on.
So he drove on the wrong side of the road because he got confused with Jennifer Grey in the car, and they had a head-on collision with this other car that killed someone.
Damn.
So he faced up to 5 years in prison because that was the sentence for vehicular manslaughter at the time. But he was convicted on a lesser charge of careless driving and fined £100
How about that?
for killing someone. Simba.
No, that's...
Simba killed someone.
Imagine the judge. That's £50 a head, please. 2 people.
I think he killed one person, actually. I think
Okay, £100 a head.
Yeah.
Because you're Matthew Broderick, fuck you.
50p.
I will say that he was one who was genuinely, like, really broken up about it, really upset, really, like, remorseful, and really said that he obviously wasn't drunk, wasn't on drugs.
No.
He just fucked up. He just drove on the wrong side of the road, which isn't easy,
No, okay.
to be honest.
Fair play. If he owned up and was like, shit, sorry, my bad.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You completely get that. Like, shit,
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
it means that you shouldn't have a sentence, and I don't
No.
think £100 is worth anyone's life.
No,
whatsoever.
definitely not, no.
And that's insane. Especially for the case of careless driving, because you should research where you're going and what side of the road you should be on.
I feel
I
like,
think.
unless you're within England and then you're driving across to France, Like, you would drive on the right-hand side. Is there the left-hand side?
So, I will say that I drove to France with my sister. And
You
we
did not
ended up-
drive.
My sister drove to France. And we ended up in Belgium. We went about 7 hours in the wrong direction. It can happen. And she drives for a living.
This is the confusion. If I see headlights coming my way on a dual carriageway, I immediately think, something's wrong here.
Wait a minute. I'm not going the right
I
way.
might pull over.
Yeah. The rest of these are celebrities who have killed people while driving. To go with the already theme of Kennedy and Broderick. The next one is Vince Neil. Motley Crue's lead singer put an end to the Finnish rock band Hanoi Rocks. Finnish rock band. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That sounded so Japanese, so I find that.
Hanoi. Yeah, it does sound Japanese actually, but it was Finnish.
Hello.
Finnish. On the night of September 8th, 1984, when Hanoi Rocks were on their first USA tour, Nicholas Charles Dingley, known as Razzle, the drummer of the band, was at a party with Vince Neil at his house when they ran out of beer. So, Vince Neil drove Razzle to a nearby liquor store. They were both completely wasted. On the way back, Vince totaled his Pantera into another car. So sad there was a Pantera.
Yeah.
Right?
Di Tommaso, I think it's called the Pantera.
That was actually on the film. What was the film called?
The
The
Dirt.
Motley Crue?
Dirt.
Dirt.
The Dirt. Oh, I've
Yeah.
heard of this, but
So-
I haven't seen it.
It was actually in that film.
Have you
This
seen it?
actually
it's
happened,
really good.
yeah.
It's good, is it?
Did you guys, when you started that story, did you hear some chimes?
The drummer.
No, I heard the squeaky toy.
No,
I heard-
anything.
I heard-
was just in my zone.
I'm gonna look back in the camera because I definitely react to it. There's like some chimes as you started the story. It's like.
The drummer. Didn't hear
Yeah.
it at all.
I heard
That's weird.
squeaky noise from Shelby's toy.
No, I
They
don't.
like
No, it was
chimes,
after that.
They always
Come here.
chime up on me.
But wow. But they're like it wasn't like dingy chimes, like low chimes. Like, dun-dun.
The drummer.
No, I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear that at all.
Okay.
We'll have to check that back.
Yeah.
Razzle died instantly and was pronounced dead at 7:12 p.m.
That's so early.
7:12 p.m.
That's really early.
They ran out of beer at least like 7 o'clock.
It's beer, that's what I'd expect. That's
It's
what
true,
I'd expect.
it's true. You'd expect them to be out
Fair
all
play.
day and all night, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
The two female occupants of the other cars Vince crashed into were seriously injured and both were left with brain damage.
Oh shit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the
fucking
worst.
hell.
Really bad, really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
I think that's worse than dying, to be fair.
100%.
Like,
I don't know how I would take that or if you could even process it. It's so sad. Vince's blood alcohol content was 0.17. The legal limit was 0.10. Although Vince was charged with vehicular manslaughter and driving under the influence, he was only sentenced to 30 days in prison, of which he served only half.
There's a theme here with being famous
There
and
is
not
a
serving.
bit, isn't there?
Yeah.
can I just say, it's not necessarily famous. It's basically, if
Yeah.
anyone's get charged, you get given a sentence and you are expected to do half.
Yeah. It depends, because if you do such a bad crime, say you kill someone for fun or you sexually assault a child, something like that, you wouldn't get parole for because it's such a bad crime. So say like Ted Bundy would have never got parole. Like it's quite a weird thing to get. I think it's weird because if you're sentenced to 40 years for the crime that you've committed, you shouldn't get out at 20 because you've been good.
No.
That's just my opinion.
You should have a bad life if you do shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I think that if you've done something that bad, that you should get hung.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I don't know about the death penalty. I'm like, meh, kind of. here and there for it, but I love to know other people's opinions about what people should get for doing bad shit.
I think it depends on how bad it is. If you're a nonce, then hung.
I think, if you're a nonce and I don't
If
really
you're a rapist,
give a shit, what fucking
hung.
happens to you?
Honestly, I think it should be that...
You get what you give?
There's so many things in England right now that there's like people that get given a sentence that they get given years in prison, and there's other people that get given like months. And it's like the people that get given months, like you should back in the day you should have got hung for that.
Yeah.
And then the people who got given like years, they're just stealing.
Yeah.
I fear we're going to go on a tangent here, but yeah, I'm agree with you. But like a lot of people get like their possession with marijuana, they're getting a harder sentence than pedophiles.
He was given 5 years probation and 200 hours of community service in order to pay $2.6 million to the victims. Overall, for taking a life and disabling 2 women, Vince Neil only ever did 15 days in prison.
Long stretch.
How did he survive? I may get these names wrong. I'm sorry. Salman Khan? Salman Khan? Is a Bollywood actor and producer. On September 28th, 2002, he drove his car into a group of homeless men, killing one of them and injuring 4 others. He was charged with culpable homicide, and a year later, this charge was changed to rash and negligent driving. Although nothing came of the case until 2015, when Khan's bodyguard came forward and claimed he was drunk at the time of the incident. For this, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. However, by the end of the year, all had been acquitted, and all charges were dropped for lack of evidence. Next one is Caitlyn Jenner. Just before Jenner publicly came out as transgender, she was involved with a 4-car pile-up that killed a 69-year-old woman. February 7th, 2015, driving on the Pacific Coast Highway, Jenner plowed into a Lexus that was pushed into an oncoming car on the other side of the road. Kim Howe was killed, and Jenner's car continued into another car ahead. The people in the other 2 cars were injured but survived. Jenner was cleared of any wrongdoing, although investigators were sure she had been speeding. The footage of the accident is easy to find, and it shows just how fast Jenner was going. She would have no chance of stopping when the cars ahead slowed. Many different versions of the events have been reported, and the media made it clear Jenner did nothing wrong. If you want to watch the footage and make up your own mind, then go ahead. But honestly, it looks from this footage, a lot of people said like she was the 3rd car to hit anyone. She was the 1st. She plowed into the back of this car, pushed it to the other side of the road, carried on to another car. I think if you do that, you are going incredibly fast. Yeah, right? There's no chance. Oh God, and also, she had a trailer on her car. She was in an SUV, so I don't know if that means like they can pull anything. But like, yeah, she did have a trailer. Yeah. So, for me, there was a lot of wrongdoing in that case. Yeah. For other people, there isn't.
Definitely.
I think she was really speeding. If you look at the footage, I don't think there's any way you can say that she wasn't speeding, because she obviously pushes this car into the other lane where it was killed. And
I definitely need to see that. I've never seen it.
No, yeah, it's very easy to find on YouTube. I watched it today. Next, we have Keith Moon. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no.
Sorry, guys. He's bad. There are some wild stories around the Who, which I'm sure we're going to cover at some point on the podcast.
I bet.
There's some fucking crazy shit. However, this is one horrific incident involving the Who's drummer Keith Moon that doesn't get a lot of publicity whatsoever. Most people don't know about this.
That's quite sad though.
I think so. 4th of January, 1970. Moon and several friends, along with Moon's driver, Neil Boland, attended... By the way, some people say bodyguard, some people say driver for Neil Boland.
Probably both.
Yeah.
Probably both, yeah. Attended the opening of a Red Lion pub in Hartford or Hatford, not 100% sure. Also, we have Red Lions like everywhere around here. They're not, I don't think they're that common in America, but in England, they're like every single corner you see a Red Lion. Boring. Like,
Every town there's a Red Lion.
yeah, and they're shit. Mind you, that one we went to was really nice.
Yeah.
That one had that massive burger that was like this big.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Several people there apparently took offense to Moon showing off his wealth, especially in his Bentley. When he tried to leave, an angry mob began rocking his car and throwing coins at the window. Apparently most of these people were skinheads that had been at the pub and gone rowdy.
Fumes of skinheads.
Yeah.
Really bad. Really bad.
Sex pistols.
Yeah, you don't want to be anywhere near that shit.
Yeah.
Moon's driver, unable to get past, left the car to confront the mob. He stood at the hood of the car. Moon was still afraid of the mob and tried to drive away to safety with his other friends in the car. However, Boland was struck by the car and became stuck underneath. As the car was driven, he was dragged down the road. When people realised what had happened, he was rushed to hospital, but sadly died the same night. Moon pled guilty to driving under the influence and driving without a licence or insurance. However, the judge dropped all charges, saying you had no choice but to act the way you did and no moral culpability is attached to you.
I'm kind of on that.
I see it two ways, right? The way that I see it is that Keith Moon never had a driving licence. He'd never driven a car before. I've never driven a car before, apart from, I mean, yours. Maybe once when I was younger.
One.
Very badly.
Like
If
2
you
seconds.
two were attacked and I was in your car, I don't think I would jump into the driver's seat and drive off.
No.
I just don't think I would.
You wouldn't have been
I
able
would
to.
get out of the car and help you.
Yeah.
That's my personal thing.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I was getting attacked by a bunch of pricks
Mm-hmm.
and there was a tank nearby and I did not have a
Oh,
tank
yeah.
license, I'd jump in and drive the motherfucker.
Absolutely.
I didn't get
Yeah.
I think fair play because he's in a car with these fuckers chucking shit in his car.
I think it's just sad. And not to say that anyone should have died, but the skinheads that were attacking him deserve to die more than his bodyguard that was trying to protect him.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh,
fucking
100%.
shit that he ran over him. Obviously, he wasn't trying to.
Yeah.
This haunted him for years. He was fucked up
He was
after
just trying to
this.
get away, basically.
And apparently, I don't know if this is true because it's Keith Moon, but he was sober from this accident.
Oh.
I don't know
Okay.
about that, but I think
Yeah.
he's sober. Is he dead now?
No, he's waiting.
Yeah. I think he was sober up until his death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because, you know, you don't learn a lot.
No.
But, yeah. But it was this incident that fucked him up, which I understand because he killed a friend and it wasn't like a malicious, I'm going to kill you kind of accident. It was like, I'm scared. I'm not sure if his wife was in the car. But she had gone to the party as well, so he had friends in the car and he was genuinely trying to save them.
He was trying to get away.
He was trying to get away, and although I don't agree with him, what he did, he didn't mean to kill anyone, and yeah. So that was a shitty little accident.
Yeah.
Sure, he once drove his car into a swimming pool, but it was on the second floor.
Yeah.
Did you drive it to the
How
floor?
did that happen? How did that happen?
I think the...
And the goldfish?
Roger Daltrey, who's like the singer of The Who, was like,
Yeah.
every story you've heard of Keith Moon is true.
I know, I'm like, please no.
Yeah, he's like, everyone you've heard. He's the most...
That's
psychotic
fucked up.
human ever.
The next one is Rebecca Gayheart. So I watched her recently in Urban Legends, which you two really need to watch. It's proper cheesy because it's from the 80s, but it's... No, 90s, sorry. But it's so good. And Rebecca Gayheart is absolutely gorgeous. Just saying.
So.
Yep. June 13th, 2001, Gayheart was driving... She was driving down a road when the car in front of her slammed on its brakes. In a panic, Gayheart swerved around this car, which is a huge mistake, not knowing why they had stopped, and she hit a 9-year-old boy who had run out to get his ball. That's why the car in front had stopped. And she had no idea about this. She just didn't have time to stop, and she went around.
As you would do, you would swerve.
I think so. A lot of people said, oh, that's insane to swerve around. But I think if you don't have time to stop, you swerve.
You swerve out the way.
Exactly.
I've done it.
And she said, you know, anyone who is in this situation, don't swerve around them because they've stopped for a reason. Just crash into them because you're going to hurt them instead of, you know, what she did. She was genuinely very fucked up about this situation.
I feel like, yeah, that's a natural response though.
Yeah. And
If someone was to stop in front of you, you'd get out of the way. So
I don't know about this, but I felt like she didn't do anything wrong. No.
It's just unfortunate.
It was a genuine accident and really, really stuck with her. I didn't really see a lot of her after this. I mean, she did have another thing after this, which I haven't read a lot about, but that her and her husband did like a naked photo shoot after this. Fair enough, girl. But yeah, so she suffered obviously some very severe mental health. She was sentenced to probation, to a 1-year suspension of her license, and a $2,800 fine. There we go. And 750 hours of community service, which I think is really a lot.
That is a
For an
lot.
accident,
But I
yeah.
feel like that's kind of fair. Because, like, yeah, she didn't mean to do it. However, you still got to accept the consequences.
And I feel like when you get community service, when you kill someone, then you get to go around schools and colleges and sort of lecture them about how to safe drive. Yeah, basically. So, yeah. She settled a wrongful death lawsuit that was filed by the child's parents out of court, so no one really knows what she paid, but she paid for the funeral and the medical expenses of the little boy. That was very sad. Very sad.
That's quite a nice, not nice, but
I know what you mean.
it was, you
She
know,
was clearly trying
It was
to
just an
close
accident.
it was an accident. She was like, shit, my bad.
Yeah, but what could she have done? Like,
that. Nothing.
no, I don't.
Nothing.
I don't think there's anything. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't drugged. She was nothing. She was
No.
just driving, and
She
I
was
feel like
human,
this can
basically.
really happen to anyone.
Kid run out in a
Unfortunately.
fucking road.
It happens.
You're
It
gonna need a
happens.
car if you run into a fucking
Well,
road.
and the car in front of her that full on slammed on its brakes.
Yeah.
What could she do?
You know.
Like, you think if that happened to you, what the fuck would you do?
I'd
I
swerve
always
around
swerve.
it.
Yeah,
Always
There you go.
100% of the time you swerve.
Fair
You don't
enough.
get the back of someone because you get fucking.
it would be your natural reaction
Yeah.
to not hit what's in front of you, so
Yeah.
you would go around.
Nah, that was wrong for her to get any kind of prosecution for that.
Yeah, so she did, but she didn't get any prison time, which is good, I think.
Yeah.
But maybe in my opinion, she should have got a fine because she paid for the funeral expenses and medical expenses out of court. Like, that wasn't a court ordered thing. Whereas if it had been, she maybe would have paid off her sentence that way,
Yeah.
which is what she did anyway. Which is a nice thing to do, even though she didn't, need to. She could have been a cunt about it.
Yeah.
She could have been like, oh, do you know what? I didn't fucking mean to, so fuck off.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She was like, I'll pay for everything. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And she literally, like, she's done speeches about how to not swerve around people and to be careful and all these kind of things. So I think that's fair enough. And I feel like the next one is exactly along those lines. It's not malicious. It's not anything. It just happened. So it happened with Brandy Norwood, who I know as Moesha. Did you ever watch Moesha? Oh my god, I loved Moesha. People will know it. So Brandy Norwood, she's I don't know what you would know her from. She was on like Dancing with the Stars, where she had a breakdown about this case actually. But yeah, I knew her as Moesha when I was growing
I
up.
never knew.
No idea.
I'll have to show you her because I'm sure you know her. At 27, Brandy, who was a well-known actress, and I know her as Moesha, was involved in a fatal car accident. The 4-car pileup left a 38-year-old woman dead. Now, I'm not very good at pronouncing this name. Awatif Abudi Haj. It's a very hard name, I'm not going to lie. Very hard name.
Yeah.
But that's the lady who died. And in her car, she slowed down. But Brandy, who was behind her, was unable to stop at the time and hit her vehicle in front of her, which then slid sideways and struck a central divider. And then her car was hit by someone driving the other way, which was a 50-year-old man named, or is that a woman? Mallory Ham Brandy.
No idea. I can tell you.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Brandy was the only one that wasn't injured. Everyone else was injured, and this woman died. But this woman had stopped very suddenly in front of Brandy, and she had no time to react whatsoever. She had no time to stop.
Yeah.
Just at the speed she was going, she wasn't speeding, she wasn't on drugs, she wasn't drunk, anything like that. She just went into the back of someone who suddenly stopped in front of her. And unfortunately, she pushed her into the other lane and killed. She died from that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't feel like Brandy is actually to blame for this. Because how do you stop suddenly on... over here we'd have a motorway.
Yeah.
How would you stop suddenly if someone stopped in front of you at 50 miles per hour?
Again, you swerve.
So Brandy literally suffered so badly, like mental health wise. I'm pretty sure that I saw her on Dancing on the Stars and she had a breakdown and was crying about this incident like years later. And just, that's so horrendous, because what did she do? What could she have done?
Yeah, exactly.
How could she have saved that person? I just don't think she could have.
No.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Whereas the last one, I feel like could have been avoided.
Okay.
And it involves Laura Bush, George Bush's wife, who was known as Laura Welsh at the time. And when she was 17 years old, she was driving her dad's brand new Chevy Impala. Yep.
Your favourite car?
Literally. Driving with a school friend at 50 miles per hour.
Ooh.
And she ran a stop sign. And as she did, she ploughed into a sedan, who was driven by her alleged ex-boyfriend.
Wow, that sounds like it's not set up at all.
Michael Douglas.
Okay.
So I will say
Okay.
that my uncle is named Michael Douglas, and my other uncle is named Stephen King.
Oh. I was hoping they'd both be called Michael Douglas.
That would be amazing, but that's not the case.
That's still just as cool. Fine.
Yeah.
They're much a cooler name than Stephen King.
Yeah.
Very cool. Stephen King and Michael Douglas. Very cool. Whose father, Michael Douglas's, so his whole name was Michael Dutton Douglas. And he was like the jock of the school where Laura Bush went. He was like the popular one. Everyone loved him. Like, couldn't say anything bad about him. He was amazing. Everyone loved him. His father was following behind him in his own car and saw the entire thing happen. His car, Michael Douglas's car, was propelled 50 feet down the road. And he died. Straight away.
Yeah.
Straight away. And Laura Welsh and her friend were taken to hospital, but they didn't have any injuries. And they were never, ever charged.
Oh my god.
He ran a stop sign
Killed someone.
and were not charged.
The end. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Oh, we didn't really get on much about after that, but the camera's going to cut out, so Tom could go and reset it very quickly.
Thanks for listening to my story.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
And we'll see you
next
time. Yeah.